Hello and welcome to the SRCC Podcast. My name is Shauna Kelly and I'm one of the project workers here in the centre. Here with me is my colleague Ruth Clinton.
Hi, I'm Ruth and I'm a project worker at SRCC.
Today we're going to have a chat about some of the questions we are most frequently asked about our service. Hopefully the answers will give you some more insight into the services we offer and how we support our clients. First of all, we're going to talk about SRCC in general, and later in the podcast we will go through questions specifically related to our counselling service.
So Shauna, to start off, who is SRCC for?
SRCC supports anyone who has been affected by sexual violence. So we see people of all genders who are over the age of 14. It doesn't matter if it happened yesterday, 2 years ago, or 20 years ago, we're here to support you.
How can you get in touch with SRCC?
There are a few ways to contact us. You can give us a call on 1-800-750-780 or you can email us on info@srcc.ie.
I'm worried about someone that I know. Can I contact SRCC?
Absolutely. Our services are available to friends and family members of survivors as well. We can give you information which you can pass on to the survivor, and we can also give you some support in a listening ear. It can be very difficult when someone you love tells you that they have been assaulted, so it is important that you get some support as well.
Where exactly is SRCC based?
So our head office is on Kempton Parade in Sligo town, which is just off Bridge Street. We have 4 outreach locations, 2 in Leitrim and 2 in Cavan. In Leitrim, we have 1 in Manor Hamilton, which is based in the health centre, and we have 1 in Carrick-on-Shannon, which is in the River Rooms. In Cavan, our outreach locations are in Killashandra, which is based in Focus Family Resource Centre, and in Cavan Town, which is based in Chaco Skull Family Resource Centre.
What services does SRCC provide?
Our main service is our counselling service, which is available in person, online or via telephone. As well as counselling for survivors, we also provide counselling for family and friends of people who are affected by sexual violence. We also have a free phone helpline, which is 1-800-750-780, where people can get some support or information. As well as that, we have an accompaniment service for survivors who are going to court. We run groups and workshops for our clients, such as yoga and creative writing, and we also deliver training, including consent workshops for transition year students in secondary schools.
And how much does it cost?
All of our services are provided free of charge. People can leave a donation if they wish. We'll talk more about donating to SRCC a little later on.
We've mentioned sexual violence a few times, but what actually is sexual violence?
Yeah, for a phrase that is used a lot, I think sometimes it can seem a bit confusing. But at the crux of it, sexual violence is any sexual act that is forced against someone's will. So that means sexual violence occurs if you are forced to participate in a sexual act without your consent. That includes rape, sexual assault, and sexual abuse. The force involved doesn't necessarily have to be physical force. It can take the form of threats or coercion. So any sexual assault is an act of violence. It's an invasion of personal and physical integrity. Also, sexual harassment, being sent intimate images without your consent, having your own intimate images shared without your consent, being flashed, all of that is sexual violence.
Do you need to report to the guards to come to SRCC?
No, you don't need to report what happened to you to the guards to use our service. We absolutely recognise that reporting is a very difficult thing for any survivor to do. However, if you do decide that you'd like to make a report, we are there to support you while you're going through that process.
Do you need to report to TUSLA?
So under Children First legislation, all counsellors are mandated persons. This means that if a counsellor becomes aware that a child or a young person is at risk of being harmed, they are legally mandated to make a report to TUSLA. However, any report that is made to TUSLA is done with the full knowledge of the client.
What if a person is using another service? Can they still get support from SRCC?
So you can. Sometimes people are linked in with other services such as family support, youth projects, mental health services and so on. You're still welcome to contact us here for support.
And for anyone who has been to SRCC for counselling before, can they come back?
Yeah, if you've been a client with us previously and think you need some further counselling or support, just give us a call on 1-800-750-780.
A lot of charities depend on volunteers. How can I volunteer with SRCC?
If you're interested in volunteering with SRCC, which by the way is great and we'd absolutely love to hear from you, you can send us an email on info@srcc.ie and one of the team here will get in touch with you to have a chat about what you're interested in doing, any experience that you have, things like that. There's loads of different ways people can volunteer, so whether that's doing some fundraising, court accompaniment, working on the helpline, just get in touch.
How do I donate to SRCC?
The easiest way to make a donation is via our website, which is srcc.ie. But if you'd prefer to make a donation another way, please give us a call on 1-800-750-780 or email us on admin@srcc.ie.
And what is done with any money that is donated?
Every single euro that's donated goes towards our frontline services supporting survivors. So that is towards providing the specialist trauma counselling we offer, towards groups for survivors, towards training and so on. And whether the donation is €2, €200, it makes a huge difference to the lives of people who've been affected by sexual violence.
Hello, you are listening to the SRCC Podcast, and today we are talking about the questions we are frequently asked about our centre. We're going to talk for the next little while about questions related to our counselling service.
So first of all, I'm just going to go through what exactly counselling is. It's a one-to-one relationship which provides the support and encouragement necessary to allow someone to talk about the experiences and events which have affected their lives and their way of being in the world. The counsellor's role is to offer a safe and confidential space to enable a person to get in touch with and express whatever thoughts and feelings are necessary for them to move on in their lives.
How do I actually get counselling with SRCC?
So the first step is to call our helpline on 1-800-750-780. You'll get through to a member of the team who will be there to have a chat and give you some information on our service and answer any questions you may have. We'll then get you booked in for an assessment with one of our counsellors. And if someone finds the idea of calling intimidating or difficult, you can also send us an email to info@srcc.ie.
You mentioned an assessment there. What is that?
So an assessment is the first appointment you have here with us in the centre. It's a space where you can talk about what has happened to you in as much or as little detail as you would like. There's no pressure to talk about anything you don't feel comfortable or ready to share. The counsellor will also take some contact details and do a little bit of paperwork.
And what's the waiting time?
For an assessment, we aim to see all clients within 2 weeks of them contacting SRCC. After that, it might take a number of months to start counselling, depending on the length of the waiting list. The support is available to clients who are on our waiting list for counselling. We have our helpline, which clients can call if they need a chat or some support, and we also regularly check in with clients via text.
How long does counselling usually take?
So it really depends from person to person. Some people find that even a few weeks is enough, whereas for others it's a few months, a year or longer. Generally, most people feel the benefit of counselling after a few sessions. At the end of the day, it's always down to the choice of the individual whether or not they want to continue with the counselling process. The counsellor and client will have a chat and review every 6 weeks throughout counselling to check in on how things are going.
What are the counsellors like?
So all of our counsellors are specifically trained in working with trauma. We have female counsellors and male counsellors that work specifically online, and counsellors who just work in certain areas.
And how often does counselling take place?
Usually counselling appointments take place once a week for an hour, but less frequent counselling is also available if necessary, for example once a fortnight.
Finally, what types of counselling does SRCC offer?
We provide in-person counselling, online counselling and telephone counselling, whichever option works best for the client.
Thanks for listening to the SRCC podcast. We hope that our chat today has given you a bit more awareness of how our centre works and the services that we offer. If you'd like more information, some support, or if you'd like to make an appointment, please get in touch with us on 1-800-750-780 or email info@srcc.ie. We're here to listen.